What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about how to get free foreclosure leads for your real estate business. So the way you get these foreclosure leads is through public records. Each county provides the foreclosure leads, right? And depending on the county, right? I mean, sometimes you can get them on. A lot of times you can get them online if they're big counties, but if they're smaller counties, you might not be able to. But living in here in Dallas, Fort Worth, we're able to get a lot of leads online. But you know, the best way to find out, obviously, is to look. And the thing that I use, obviously, is the Google. So let me show you here how to do that. And the thing to be aware of for foreclosure leads is when you contact these people, they're in kind of a tough situation. So, you know, I try to be sensitive toward their situation and not just try to take advantage of them. If you at first, when I first started, I was like, am I being a vulture trying to take advantage of these people? If you want to help these people, help them. If they don't want to be helped, you know, for me, I don't try to force them into it. But let me give you a up here or here. I'll give you the link for the "Are You a Vulture" video that I did. If you feel like people will say, "Hey, you're trying to take advantage of me? You know, you're trying to kick me while I'm down," you know, kind of thing. But you don't have to do that, right? So anyway, so to get these leads, I would, and there's two different foreclosures, right? There might be more, but the two main ones that we're talking about, there's mortgage foreclosures where people don't pay their mortgage, then they get foreclosed on by their borrowing entity, right? They borrow money from, Wells Fargo or, whatever these big banks are, and they don't pay them a mortgage, right? Their mortgage payments, so they get foreclosed on. The second type is the tax deed foreclosure in Texas, right? Where you don't pay your taxes, your property taxes, and you get foreclosed on. What we're talking about today is the mortgage foreclosure, okay? And then I'll do another video on the tax deeds. I'm actually going to a tax deed sale on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll get some good footage from the county. But anyway, mortgage foreclosures. So today we're talking about your county. So for me, I'm going to look at Fort Worth, which the county is Tarrant County. So I'm going to type in Tarrant County or foreclosures in Tarrant County, or you can type Tarrant County foreclosure, whatever you want to do. For this instance is foreclosures in Tarrant County. Now, the thing to be aware of is there's going to be a lot of different things, a lot of different websites pop up, right? The one you want to pick is the one that is actually the government website, right? I mean, you can look at all these other ones, Zillow and Foreclosure Listing. They're trying to sell you foreclosure lists, which is okay. I mean, if you don't want to spend a lot of time, because this is time sensitive, right? I mean, this method of gathering leads is if you have a lot of time versus if you have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money trying to get foreclosure leads, I would just pay for a list. But if you don't have a lot of money and you have a little bit of time, then this is the way that you do it. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you the free way of getting foreclosure leads, right? Because this is how you do it. And once you get the leads, right, the best way to contact, the way I used to go knock on their doors and stuff, and I've got a lot of, experience in dealing with the people. Their mindsets are a little bit, they could be angry, they could be stressed, I mean, you're about to lose your house, dude. I mean, right? So, if you're good at the sales and persuasion stuff, probably the best way is to knock on the doors, because they get stacks and stacks of these letters and postcards when I talked to one guy, he's like, look, dude, I get stacks of these postcards. Why are you, any different? How are you going to help me? So if you're a good persuader, if you're a good person that can, sell, then probably knocking on the door is the best way. If not, the way I do it is I send out postcards or letters. So anyway, back to what we're talking about. So the Tarrant County website happens to be this one, Foreclosures Tarrant County. And like I said, your county can be different, and it probably will be. The best way to do it is to look online and to see if your county provides foreclosure records. In this particular instance, Tarrant County, County Clerk, Foreclosures, bam, right there. Notice of substitute trustee sales, that means foreclosure sales. Okay, so here is a list. The date, and like I said, your county is going to be different, but in this county, the date is the date of the actual sale, right? So I'm probably not going to do February because it's February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm going to be a little late. You want to send your letter or knock on the door with plenty of time for them to make a decision to whether they want to go with you, or if they want to go with some kind of a borrowing situation where they borrow the money to pay for their mortgage. So here I'm gonna start in March. So I have February 4th now. I've got a month to talk to them, to assess their situation, and to see how best I can help out if they want to be helped, right? So this is how you do it. So first, from my CRM system, Podio, or if you want to use Excel files, you'll need Excel. You could probably do this in something free like, Google Docs or something like that, but I'm just an Excel guy. And I'm going to show you how to do this in Excel. And, I don't know if you can do a mail merge from Google Docs, but, I take these leads from Excel, merge them into Word, right, and then send them out. And I've got another video on how I do that. I'll put a link up here on the merge in case you need in case you need to merge to send them out yourself, or you can use a mailing provider. There's tons of them out there, but for right now, we're mailing out the letters ourselves with our big old printer. Depending on your needs, on your time availability, and your how much money you got, either do it yourself or have someone else do it. So let's look here. Here is the template that I use. I pull it from my Podio, and if you're interested, in how I set up my Podio, I can give you a demo. Just type in comments if you're really interested in how to set up a CRM. CRM is customer relationship management software. Basically all it is how you manage all your leads, right? You got to manage your leads. If you do it in Word or not Word, but if you do it in Excel, at first this is what I did, but it gets really cumbersome. Here you can have your contacts, your campaigns, your seller leads. That's my main. These are called apps. My main app that I use, and I export my leads into this format. So it has your dates, your addresses, all the fields that I use to maintain leads. Anyway, this is not a commercial for Podio, but it's just what I use. And if you want to know, I'll put a link in the description below on how you can get Podio. It's pretty cheap. It's a few $100 a year. I mean, whatever. But the way I do foreclosures, okay, so like I said, I'm going to start with the March. And I did a few of these groups. I don't know what the groups mean, but I go through each group, and in your county it may be different, but I go through each group to see the name of the person, the address information, and a lot of, here, I'll just show you. So in this particular instance, and each of them are done differently, and yours might not look like this, and even in each county, depending on the way that the attorney does this or whoever files it in the county court, they have a different sheet. So each one of these could be different. So I'll show you how to find the pertinent information. The first thing you need to find out is the address that's getting foreclosed on, right? And sometimes they don't even show you the address, so I just skip it, but you can always find the address. So in this particular instance, the address is this right here, right? So they make it, on this one it's real easy. A lot of them aren't this easy. So that's the address that's being foreclosed. The date and time, place of sale, March 6, 2018. The sale is going to begin at 10. The place, the base of the courthouse steps on the east side of Tarrant County Courthouse, or as designated by the county commissioner. It's sometimes at Tarrant County, it's not really at the courthouse steps, right? It's inside a building and in a room. Okay, so cash, you got to buy it cash only. When you bid on it, there's a clerk you go to and you give them your cashier's check, right? For how much you bid for. So you need to have the cash then and there. Sometimes they give you like a few hours to go to the bank to get the cashier's check. But it depends, totally depends on your county. Everything's different, right? So the instrument to be foreclosed, that means the deed, right? It gives you the instrument number, which you can look up to find out how much is owed and all that stuff. But for this particular video, I won't make it too long. Daryl Johnson is the grantor. The grantor is the person that is being foreclosed on. My bad. Sympathies to Daryl. But, these people are in tough situations. So when you're talking to them or when you're dealing with them, just be cool, be sensitive, and don't be a jerk trying to just say, hey, man, I want to buy your house, like a lot of other people are. But, whatever. So in the spreadsheet that you're going to be using, I've got a created on date, created by me. The property full address is a formula of these 4 fields here. So the first things I need to find out is the property address, which is that. And you can usually copy and paste some of this information. This one I couldn't, but a lot of them you can. So sometimes you type it in, right? Cheswick, Fort Worth, Texas, zip code. The seller name is right here, right? Daryl Johnson. And the mailing address, you guys know from previous videos I've done, you want to look through, on these I use the same as the property address, but it could definitely be different. They could live somewhere else, and you could look through the CAD, the County Appraisal District, to find out if the mailing address is different from the property address. And I have another video that you can see how to find that out. But I just put the same one just to be quick, and if it comes back as non-deliverable, then I'll do some more research. For Podio, I use the lead source as Foreclosures, Tarrant. Lead capture date is the date of today that I am capturing. The lead enter date, I've only done a few just for this demonstration, so I'm not going to put that there, but that would be the date I entered it into my CRM system, so the system knows when I entered it. The campaign, I've got different campaigns in Podio, so the campaign I'm using today would be foreclosures. Okay. And the status is mail, because I want to mail them, and the action, what do I need to do for this particular lead, for these leads, is to mail. So that might be redundant, but it's different. I will show you real quick. I'm probably getting too far in depth, but I want to show you guys exactly what I'm doing, exactly how I do it. So you know, I mean, let's see, so I've got different lead sources. The lead source would be foreclosure tenant, like I showed you. The status, I've got all these statuses, because when I talk to potential buyers or sellers, I have to see what status they're in, right? If they sold it, or if they responded, or if they're dead, they say forget you, go away, right? Or if we're negotiating, or right now I'm mailing. So there's the status. The actions, mail. I can research the owner if the mail comes back undeliverable. I put that as that. Make an offer, you know, all this other stuff. But let's get back to what we're doing. That is the explanation of status and actions. Foreclosure date is the date of the sale, March 6th. So that is what I would be using here. So that is one record for the Cheswick address there. Okay. Same kind of thing. I'll go through a couple more of these because some of them are different. That was the only one for the Group A. Group B, I'll show you. Okay, so notice the format between this one and the other one. There's no name up here. There's no address. So, like I said before, each of these templates are different, right? Each of these entries, notice to the courts, you know, are different depending on who enters them. So for this one, if you cannot find the address, you can always find, if you dug hard enough, the legal description would give you the address, but I don't really, I mean, I don't do it. You can do it, and that way you can have an advantage to everyone else, because most people, if they don't see the address right there, boom, they're just going to keep going. Same with me. I'm just going to forget this one, right? I'm going to keep looking down. This one, date of sale, property. Okay. Nope. That one doesn't have it either. Date of sale, place of the property, sale of property is same thing, Fort Worth. Okay. In that particular instance, I'm not writing anything down because I'm just going to keep going for the sake of speed. Group C. Okay, here it's totally different from A and B, right? I mean, the grantors, Kenneth and David Sermons Jr. and Jennifer Jones Sermons, looks like they're married. The principal amount, it gives you how much the deed amount was, what their mortgage was on what particular date. I know, man, your information is so public, it's just amazing. Kind of scary, but it's out there for everybody to look at. I mean, your deed, if you've bought a house, it's out there for people to look at. I mean, it's kind of weird, but anyway. So this one gives the name of the grantor. Like I said, that's the borrower. Current mortgage is with JP Morgan Chase. Here we go. Reported address. This is what we're looking for on this one. So in this particular instance, you would find the address under reported address. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. You're going to say, like, you said that 100 times. I'm like, yeah, I know. But every county is different. Even within the county, every notice is different. Notice of acceleration and notice of trustee sale means it's being foreclosed on. Okay, so 500 Glen Cove Court, and here you can copy and paste this. I copied and pasted that in there. 500 Glen Cove Court, Mansfield, Texas. And then I would take the, let's see, what's the next thing, is the seller's name. Kenneth David Sermons Jr. and Jennifer Jones Sermons. Okay, so I cut that down because when you mail them, right, and they see this on their mail, they're like, oh, well, this is definitely, you know, something serious, right, if they put their whole name. So I just say Kenneth Jr. and Jennifer Sermons, right? I mean, so maybe they opened up my piece of mail. Maybe. I mean, I don't know, but that's how I do it. Mailing full address is a formula of the mailing address. Same thing, sale information, March 6th, 10 a.m. or within 3 hours after, so be there at 10, right, at the base of the courthouse steps. Substitute trustee, the dudes who are going to do it. Okay, so next. The next one, okay, reported address, same thing, all the information is here. The grantor is up here, which is pretty cool. So you can copy and paste that. Do I have that one? Ella, yep. Ella and husband, Joe. You know, of course I don't put and husband, right? I strip all that stuff out into the seller name because when I mail them, I'm going to mail them something kind of, you know, easy to read, right? Ella and Baquindano, whatever, and Joe Rodriguez. You know, you can see the principal amount, $81,000. You can look up on Zillow or whatever for the address and see if it's even close. But I mean, at this point, you're not doing any type of calculations, any type of any type of trying to analyze it. You're not doing any analysis of the deals, is what I was trying to get at, right? You're just putting the leads into your funnel, right? As many as you can get. And if they contact you back, then that's the stage you analyze them, right? So first thing is find the leads, right? We're finding the leads. And this one is finding foreclosure leads. Okay. This one, okay, reported address, got it easy here. Wind Terrace Drive, $62,000 on the 3rd. So the hardest part, not the hardest part, but the longest part is actually just typing this stuff in. If you got someone that you can train to do it, this took me about an hour and a half to type in 27 records, right? So, I mean, it might be worth it. It might not be worth it. If you would rather pay for it than pay for it, I'll give you a ListSource is a good place where you can find it. And there's also, I'm looking at a different thing called Propelio, which supposedly gives good leads. And one of our guys at the real estate meetup group that I run, he uses Propelio. He says it's real good, and he's doing deals, so I trust him. My man Neil. But anyway, let's see. There was some that I wanted to show you. Okay, so this one has a reported address as well. This one does not have. Okay, this one has reported address. This one has reported address. So those were pretty straightforward. There was some that was that B or C? Okay, B, reported address. So you would just do the same thing. Okay, so here's a different one, right? Different one, notice of trustee sale. Here is the address. You would find the name here. So depending on, my point is, depending on the actual notice of trustee sale, you know, notice of acceleration, whatever is being recorded at the county clerk's office, right, is you got to look, and there's no automatic way unless you pay for this data, because someone actually does what I'm showing you how to do, right? Someone compiles all this information, puts it into a database, and then sells all this stuff, right? So if you wanted to, right, to make some money without buying houses, if you wanted to compile all this information in your particular state or county, you can start selling this stuff too and say, hey, I've got the best leads, hey, pay me. But I mean, that's a side kind of gig. But what we're really trying to do is make money off of deals, deals. So, but if you want to make some extra money on the side, this is how you would do it. Let's see. So in this particular instance, City Mortgage was the mortgage company. There's the address, and you can copy and paste those into your spreadsheet here. Charles Thomas Hall. Do I have that one? No. Charles Thomas Hall. Interesting. I thought I got all these. Charles Thomas Hall. Yep. Okay. So I put, because estate of Charles Thomas Hall. I grabbed it from there. And the comma, you don't want to put Hall, comma, estate of Charles Thomas, right? That's the last name on the mailer that you send, right? You should probably put Thomas Hall, Charles Thomas Hall. But I put estate of Charleston. I mean, he's, in this particular instance, he's probably deceased, and they foreclosed on him because he couldn't make his payment. And in Texas, yes, you can foreclose on a dead person, which is kind of crappy, but I mean, they want their money, right? So they're going to take the house back. So I'm guessing, I'd have to look through probate records and stuff, but I'm guessing since he has an estate, or not, I mean, but I've seen enough of these to know. So this is Thomas estate of Boyd D. Did I put the estate? Yeah, I put the estate. Notice a trustee sale. You can see where the when they bought it, November 12th, 2002, how much they bought it for, usually. And this one, you can't. But that's okay, because all of them are different. In this one, see how this is totally different too? It doesn't have it on the top. The amount, $157,410. Legal description. It doesn't have the actual address, so I bet you I did not put this down. But if you wanted to research the actual address, boom, you've got a niche in which most people won't do that. I'm not doing it. A lot of people aren't doing it. So if you want to dig down deep, you can actually do that. And I can show you how to find but you just go to the county appraisal district website and do it. But if you need help, definitely hit me up in the comments below and ask me how to do it, and I'll show it to you. But basically all this stuff is the same, except, my point is, the reason why I'm taking some time and showing you, all of these are different, right? All of these are different. The legal description, date of sale, time, place of sale. There's no address here, so I did not put it down. Here's an address here on this one, so I did put it down. Here's the name. Here's how much he owes, maybe not, whatever. So some people, some example, or some recordings, right, where some recordings are show you all the information. Some don't. Some lawyers that do this, they're like, hey, let's keep this kind of, hard to find, because people like us, right, data miners, They don't want us to find out their addresses so easily to bother these people, right? I mean, and we're trying not to bother them. We're trying to help them. But if they don't want to be helped, I move on, you know. But, you know, like I said, if you're a good salesperson, you can kind of get in their minds and say, hey, look, dude, we're helping you out. We're trying to help you out. If you want to be helped, we're here to help you. So, principal amount, grantor name, reported address. Bam, that's a good one. Did I get that one? Matthew Murphy. Matthew Murphy sure did. Okay, good. Okay, so all these are the same. So once I'll cut this video pretty short, but once, I mean, you guys get the idea, right? You have to dig through these and find the gems within the rubble. So once you get these wrote down, put them in the mail merge, right? That I showed you. Search for mail merge in my playlists, or I'll actually earlier I think I showed you the mail merge, but I'll maybe put it up there again to show you how you take this Excel file, you merge it back into your CRM system to where you can track everything. Then you merge out all the ones that have not been mailed, right? These are hidden fields right here, right? Unhide. So I look at the date mailed first. If they haven't been mailed one time, I will send out bulk mailers to all these, and I'll show you a different video on how to do all that, unless I haven't done it yet, unless I've done it already. I mean, so you've got a good list here. I will continue to go through. I stopped at E and I have F through Q for the March, and I won't bore you to death doing all those, but first step to wrap up everything, first step is to Google your county, not the city. You can Google your city, but they will have tax sales, which of course I will talk about later. But the mortgage foreclosure sales, the notice of default, the notice of acceleration, all this other stuff is what we're talking about now. And first thing, Google your county, find the website, see if they give the information on the website. If not, maybe Google a county that is near you, right? If you're in a real small county, maybe like I'm in Denton County, but I go a lot with Fort Worth, Collin County, or Denton County, and sometimes I used to live in Ellis County, but it's a real small county. But you might want to do that. But you know, wherever you want to travel to, right, for these leads is what you want to find. So hopefully this helped you out. If you like what you saw, if you please subscribe to the channel. Click the links down below. I'll put all the links about all these other videos I've done to help you out down below. Subscribe to me. You know, smash the notification button to get all the notifications. I send you out videos on a constant basis about how you can get leads, how you can optimize your business. And I don't ask nothing from you, man. I'm not trying to put you in a funnel or any kind of weird stuff. You know, I might have some affiliate links here and there, but you know, nothing super salesy. But if you got any questions, hit me up, let me know. And as always, be a light, speak truth, change lives, and I wish you much success in your business and in life. Peace out. And maybe I'll learn how to shut this down. How do you shut down do you know how to do that, bud? Screencast? Yeah, screencast. Is it down at the bottom? Go to screencast. Oh, go to screencast. And then click here to pause.